Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. हरे कृष्णा डियर डिवोटीज, आपका सबका स्वागत है, आप सबका अभिनंदन है आज की श्रीमद् भागवतम क्लास में. प्लीज जॉइन अस फॉर जय राधा माधव प्रेयर्स. हरे कृष्णा. जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी, जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी, गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरवरधारी, गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरवरधारी, यशोदानंदन व्रजन रंजन, यशोदानंदन व्रजन रंजन, यमुनतीरावनचारी, यमुनतीरावनचारी, जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी, जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी. हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे. जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी, जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी. हरे कृष्णा डियर डिवोटीज, आप सबका स्वागत है. यू ऑल वेलकम टुडे इन श्रीमद् भागवतम क्लास. टुडे वी विल बी कवरिंग श्रीमद् भागवतम कैंटो 2 चैप्टर 2 verse 1. So 221, so that's the verse we will be covering today. Please join us for Mangalacharan prayers. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiriyet, Shavatam Swakatha Krishna Punya Shavana Kirtanaha, Hridayantasto Hya Bhadrani Vidunoti Suhatsatam, Nashtaprayeshva Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya, Bhagavatir Uttam Shloke Bhaktir Bhavti Naistiki. Hare Krishna dear devotees, please join us in the recitation of the first verse of Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 2, Chapter 2, Verse 1. Hare Krishna Devi, have we shared the link?
Yes, Prabhuji, the link and the translation, both of them are shared.
Hare Krishna. Srimadbhagavatam, Canto 2, Chapter 2, Verse 1. Shishaka Uvacha Evam Pura Dharanyatmayonir Nashtam Smritim Pratyavaruddhaktushtat Tatha Sasadredam Amogha Drishtir Yatha Pyayayat Praga Vyavasaya Buddhihi. Hare Krishna. Translation by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Sri Shukdev Goswami said, formerly, prior to the manifestation of the cosmos, Lord Brahma, by meditating on the Virata Rupa, regained his lost consciousness by appeasing the Lord. Thus he was able to rebuild the creation as it was before. Hare Krishna. Please join us for Guru Pranati. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshitarine Om Ajnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Mukam karoti vachalam pangum langhayate girim yat kripatadaham vande Shri Gurum Deenataranam. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. So today we are covering a very important verse. So how to remember the Lord in our heart, and how can we remember the various activities we are engaged in, and are we dovetailing these activities in Krishna's service, or are we curtailing in Maya's service? So that's the main aspect that we will be covering today. And here Srila Prabhupada in the purport explains that this is an example cited about Lord Brahma, the first living entity in this material world. Yes, Lord Brahma is also one of the Jiva Tattvas like you and me, and yet at the same time he is born from the lotus that sprouts from the navel of Lord, right? So again, this is where we hear about the Garbhodakshai Vishnu. So from his garb, from his womb, Lord Brahma has manifested on the lotus that has come up. So forgetfulness is there. And even though we may be practicing something for many, many years, if we are not properly meditating on the Lordship, He may take away that forgetfulness from us. There are various examples we see in the Shastras regarding this. One of the very common time where Lord Krishna takes away the remembrance is when Karna was fighting with Arjuna, and he could not remember the mantra, and further his wheel went in the land. So he was trying to lift it and trying to cover that, Arjuna, don't, shoot the arrow because I am lifting. But in reality, what was happening was he had forgotten the mantra because of the curse he got from his guru. So his guru, Parshuram, had cursed him that when you will need my knowledge the most, the education I have imparted to you the most, at that time it will be taken away. And Mother Earth had also cursed him that I will take away the support I provide to you. So again, this is where we have to understand that the remembrance comes from the mercy of the Lordship. Sarvasya chaham hridhi sannivishto mattah smritir jnanam apohanam cha vedescha sarvairahameva vedyo vedant kridveda vida eva chaham. In Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna, he explains in the 15th chapter, the 15th verse. Yes, this verse has been quoted so many times by Srila Prabhupada. Right? Sarvasya chaham hridhi sannivishto. I am residing in every living entity's heart. Mattah smritir jnanam apohanam cha. From me comes smritir, remembrance. Yes, this is what the important aspect of this verse is, that remembrance also comes from the Lordship. Jnanam, knowledge also comes, and apohanam, forgetfulness also comes from Him. So that's why Acharyas, they revealed to us that one of the most important principles we should remember is Smartavya satatam Vishnu vismartavyo na jatuche sarve vini nishedasyo reta yoreva kinkarah. Smartavya satatam Vishnu. Always remember Krishna. Vismartavya na jatuchit. Never forget Krishna. Sarve vidhi nishadha. So all other rules and regulations, prohibitions that are mentioned in the Shastras, in the scriptures, they are etayor eva kinkara. They are just subservients to these two principles. So these are very important instructions we are getting. And this we see even Lord Brahma following, that he is trying to please the Lordship so that he gets the remembrance to do the creation as it was done before. So this is not the time that he has done the creation first time. He has done it many, many times before. And on this day of Lord Brahma, that when he awoke again, he is meditating and pleasing the Lordship so that he can continue to do the creation. The very interesting aspect that comes here is Lord Brahma is focusing on creation. And people talk about devotional service. And he is one of the Mahajanas. Mahajana yena gata pantha. So we should follow the example set by Mahajanas. And here Lord Brahma is engaging in creative activities. So how could that be devotional service? Sometimes people even ask this question, ignorant of the fact that there are personalities who are engaging in the prescribed duties which are aligned in their constitutional position as a service to the Lordship. We see the example of Arjuna on the battlefield of Kurukshetra. He was fighting as per the instruction of Lord Shri Krishna. We see Hanuman destroying Lanka, burning out Lanka to please Lord Ramchandra. We see Bharat Maharaj. He is, now again this is the younger brother of Lord Ramchandra, who by the order of Lord Ramchandra carried out the services of running the kingdom of Ayodhya in Ram's absence, and he is still slept on the ground because he knew that my Lord Ramchandra, my elder brother, is sleeping on kusha grass, so I don't even deserve that he was sleeping on the ground. And Shatrughna was serving his brother. So again, these are great examples where they are carrying out their prescribed duties in the service of the Lordship. We see Bhishma Dev, he is on the battlefield also fighting to please the Lordship. He is also one of the Mahajanas. We see so many examples of personalities who are engaging in various prescribed duties in alignment with their devotional service. And that's why we hear Lord Krishna, he is revealing to Arjuna, Nimitra Matam Bhavya Savya Sachin. You are just an instrument in my service, Savya Sachin. So again, this is one of the name Arjuna is called out with. So here we are amazingly surprised that Lordship is identifying that we all have our purposes. We all living entities, we have to carry out our activities. And when we carry out our activities, they are for the pleasure of Lordship, not for the pleasure of our own senses. We are not this body. Jivera Surupaya Krishna Nityadas. We are eternal servant of Lord Shri Krishna. And Lord Brahma, who is appearing in this material world, and when he awakes on a new day, he is actually remembering the Lordship and seeking the blessings so that he can remember how to do the creation again. And also the Guna avatars, of the 6 types of avatars, Guna avatar is Lord Brahma for the creation in Rajoguna, in mode of passion. Then we have Lord Vishnu, Shirodakshai Vishnu, who is in a mode of goodness, and he is maintaining the world. And we have Lord Shiva. He is destroying the universe, the world, based on the service he has received. And he is in the mode of carrying out the activities of the mode of ignorance. He is not in the mode of ignorance. Yes, I was just making sure that you understand. Yes, his activities of destruction are in the mode of ignorance, but he actually is always in the mode of goodness. So his consciousness is always dovetail in the service of the Lordship. So here, one very important aspect that Srila Prabhupada identifies is Vyavsaya Buddhi. So ascertained Buddhi. So again, which is very important for us to understand. In Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna reveals Vyavsayatmika buddhir ekah kuru nandana bahushakaya anantascha buddhayo avyasayinam. So he is revealing to Arjun that those who are on this path of devotional service, they are resolute in their purpose and their aim is one. And what is their aim? To please Lord Shri Krishna. And he is saying, Kuru Nandana, O beloved son of Kurus. The intelligence of those who are irresolute is many branched. So again, those who are engaged thinking I am this body, they are trying to satisfy the senses and they are constantly bewildered and they are engaged in various kind of activities. While devotees always remembering Krishna, always seeking to serve Krishna, are constantly meditating and calling out, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, dear devotees. So here in this regard, a beautiful story comes to our mind. How can we be resolute? We should be like the sage of deep meditation and engaging all our activities, dovetailing all our activities in the service of the Lordship for the pleasure of Shri Shri Radha Madan Mohan. And constantly remembering of Krishna also comes by his mercy. So again, we have to understand that in our life we get the Guru, our spiritual master, by the mercy of Chaitya Guru, the super soul in our heart. And thus we are engaged, and Lord Brahma is meditating on Virat Rupa, universal form, in this verse as it is very clearly identified. So this story is that of a sage who was meditating very nicely in the jungle. And suddenly he sees a scared mouse comes to him. And he says, what's wrong? Why are you so scared? And the mouse says, well, there is a cat that's chasing me. So he makes this mouse a bigger cat. And now the bigger cat looks at the smaller cat. So the mouse turned cat looks at the other cat, and the other cat is like shaking and runs away. And so now this mouse turned cat is wandering very nicely till it's chased by a dog. And now it comes running back to the sage, and sage says, what's wrong? The mouse turned cat says, now I'm being chased by a dog, and what do I do? So here he immediately with his yogic power turns this cat into a dog. Some places it said that turns into a fox. So now a bigger dog scares off the smaller dog, and so now mouse turned cat who turned into dog is very comfortable till it's chased by a tiger. And when it's chased by a tiger, it comes back to the sage, and the sage turned this tiger into a bigger tiger. And now the bigger tiger looks at the small tiger. Now mouse turned tiger, looking at the small tiger runs away. Now mouse looks at the sage, but his vision is, I am this body. So he's thinking, I'm hungry. Sage looks delicious. Let me eat him up. And sage understands what the intention is of this tiger by his yogi power. And so he asks, why are you looking at me like that? And the tiger says, well, I feel like devouring you and enjoying you as my meal. And sage immediately turns him into a mouse, become the mouse again. And again, now the mouse turned tiger turns back into the mouse and laments. That is our situation. Sometimes when we are thinking I'm this body, we are engaging in many activities. We are engaging in sense pleasures. We are saying, let me work very hard so that I can have enough facilities to enjoy my senses. And that's why when we have wife, we think, oh, this wife that I have is for my pleasure. These children are there for my pleasure. This work I have to do is for someone else's pleasure, but basically my pleasure would be when I get the remuneration, when I get the salary at the end of the month. This mindset is very dangerous. It is very clearly identified that we should carry out all our prescribed duties in alignment with our constitutional position. So when we look at our wife, we should look at them as Vaishnavi, who is engaged in Lord Krishna's service, and we should make it possible for them to engage in Lord Krishna's service. So this kind of forgetfulness sometimes, which causes us to think others as our objects of sense gratification, should not be the mindset. We should always be looking at the perspective that we are eternal servant of Lord Shri Krishna, and our wife, our children, and all the facilities that we have received is by the mercy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And we are just part and parcel of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, just have to act as an instrument. And engage in the loving devotional service of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This is the main lesson in this particular verse, where we are seeing that even the Mahajana, the first living entity of this material world, Lord Brahma, is meditating on the Lord to please him, so that he can remember how to engage in creation for the pleasure of the Lordship, carrying out his duties, dovetailing for the pleasure of the Lordship. So there are two purposes why he is doing creation. This material world has been created for two purposes. For those living entities, first purpose is who want to enjoy without Krishna, then they get the facility to carry out their unwanted desires, but they have those anarthas. So again, Lord Krishna enables that in this material world. And then for the devotees who want to serve the Lordship and go back home, back to Godhead, understanding that this place is dukkhalayam ashashvatam. It's constantly changing, never permanent, and it's a dukkhalaya. Dukkhalaya refers to it's a place of misery. So even the people who are thinking that this place is a place of enjoyment, they are in delusion, they are in apohanam, they are in forgetfulness, not realizing the true nature. The only place we can get true pleasure is when we engage in the service of the Lordship. And that is when we engage in the pleasure of the Lordship, remembering him that he is in our heart as Super Soul, as Chaitya Guru, giving us instruction, following the instruction of us, initiating and instructing spiritual masters, following in the footsteps of Mahajanas. When we say following in the footsteps of Mahajanas, we have to understand that we are carrying out understanding and following their instructions. Anukaran and Anusharan. Anukaran is imitating someone. Anusharan is taking shelter of their instructions. So we want to do Anusharan, not imitate someone, but rather take shelter of their instructions and carry out their instructions for the pleasure of the Lordship. And then we can be a proper instrument in the service of the Lordship. So again, our lost consciousness will be revived when we please the Supreme Personality of Godhead by our loving devotional service, so that we can be the instrument in his service. And then we will actually attain true pleasure, true happiness. That is the way. By remembering the Lordship in our heart, by engaging in his service, we can continue to engage in our prescribed duties in alignment for the pleasure of the Lordship, with proper understanding that we are living entities and our purpose is to serve the Lordship, and we are part and parcel. So we are part because he is unlimited, we are limited. So qualitatively we are one because we are also spiritual beings, he is also a spiritual being. Srila Prabhupada gives the example of fire and sparks. So the spark has also come from the fire, so yet at the same time spark is limited. Another example Acharyas gave is the big sky that we see, right? You cannot cover, the cloud cannot cover the whole of sky, but a small part of the sky can be covered. That's us. We can be covered by Maya. And we may start thinking that I am this body. And we have to come out of this lost consciousness that we are not actually this body, we are the eternal soul, and dovetail all our prescribed duties in the service of the Lordship for his pleasure, in alignment with our constitutional position as a servant of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And this process simply starts through the chanting of the holy name. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And so we should not act like that mouse who's always wanting something more and something more and something more. Rather, we should be like that determined sage, the Gambhir, the grave sage who is resolute in his purpose, and the aim is one, that is to please Lord Shri Krishna. Hare Krishna. Gantra Srimadbhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Srila Bhagavad ki jai, Anant Koti Vaishnava Vind ki jai, Nitai Go Premanande, Hari Hari Bol. Om Tat Sat. Hare Krishna.